On this week's episode, we talk about sleep and why it's so vital to your health. Welcome to episode 6 of the Wellness Lab. I'm Dr. Nick and I'm here with Dr. Mike today. We're going to be talking about the importance of sleep and why it's so vital to your health. So studies have shown that about 30 to 40% of adults say they have occasional insomnia, and about 10 to 15% of Americans say they have trouble sleeping on a consistent basis. So sleep is such an important thing. Our bodies are on a 24-hour clock. And the recommended amount of time for sleep is 7 to 8 hours for an adult, a little bit more for teenagers and even more for children and babies. But making sure that you get a proper amount of sleep is probably the most important thing that you can be doing for your health on a daily basis. So sleep deficiency has been shown to be linked to lots of chronic diseases, heart disease, high blood pressure, kidney disease, obesity, depression, even stroke. So obviously we can have these chronic health diseases that cause us to have lower mortality, lower life expectancy. It can also cause problems with if you have sleep deficiencies, just falling asleep at the wheel or causing yourself to be more risk prone can cause sudden death. So making sure that we're sleeping obviously is a really important thing. So the two hormones that we want to talk about today that are so important for sleep are melatonin and cortisol. So melatonin is the hormone that allows your body to start to feel sleepy and want to go to sleep. When the sun goes down, that's when melatonin starts to rise. And then cortisol is the hormone that we release in our brain to wake us up. So when the body senses that the sun is rising, that's when cortisol starts to get released. So, Dr. Mike, you deal with a lot of patients that have a lot of sleep deficiencies. What are some of the things that you talk to them about nutritionally that can help them sleep a little bit better?
So, first and foremost is melatonin. Like you talked about in terms of inducing the drowsiness, getting us to go to sleep. You can buy it over the counter. They typically come in milligrams, so anywhere from 1 to 10 milligrams is kind of the safe dosage range. Obviously, want to start on the lower end, and you can increase it if it seems like it's not doing the effects. Making sure, of course, that you're checking with either us or your primary care to make sure that you're getting proper dosage and not overdoing it more or less.
Right.
The other one is really, really simple. It's herbal teas. Chamomile tea, there's a brand out there that has a sleepy time tea. Just basically helps to kind of wind you down, kind of cool you down, get you ready for bed, if you're feeling a little amped up or something right before bedtime.
Sure.
Making sure avoiding big meals towards the end of the day. A small snack with like a carb and a protein, like a banana and peanut butter or something like that. It's a really good effective snack just to where your body can digest it properly and it's not going to keep you awake for many hours afterwards.
Sure. And I would also say that, avoiding nicotine and caffeine would probably be two big things. You definitely don't want to be adding stimulants into the body as you're trying to go to sleep. So what are a few of the lifestyle changes that people can make along with the nutritional things?
Okay, yeah. So first and foremost is making sure you're avoiding bright lights. TVs, cell phones, smartphones, tablets, all that stuff at least an hour before bedtime. It tricks your body, kind of come back to the cortisol and melatonin thing, into thinking that it's time to be awake. So having those right at nighttime, your body's starting to think, hey, am I supposed to wake up? Am I supposed to go to sleep? Mm-hmm. That can have a really big, negative effect on that as well.
Sure.
Avoiding exercise too late in the day. Takes about 6 hours in total for your body to fully cool down after a workout. Mm-hmm. So if you don't go to the gym till 7 o'clock, you finish at 8 o'clock, your body's not fully cooled down, ready for bed until well after midnight at that point in time, which obviously isn't ideal for getting the recommended total amount of sleep. Last is just having a cool, dark place to sleep in. Making sure that you're free of any of those bright lights. If you have your cell phone with you near you by the bed, flip it upside down, keep your alerts off to where it's not going to be flashing at all hours of the night, making your body think it's time to wake up.
Okay. Yeah, I think that temperature point is really important. You know, making sure that your body temperature is low is so important. Not only getting to sleep, but also staying asleep. They say anywhere between 55 and 72 degrees is ideal for the temperature that you're sleeping in. Anything below that, and it's going to disrupt sleep, and anything above that is also going to disrupt sleep. Also, with where you're sleeping at, you know, having a quiet space is important. But if you're in an apartment complex or someone where there's a lot of ambient noise, you know, having a white noise machine, I think, can help decrease a lot of that noise issue also.
They also have actually white noise apps for your phone.
Okay.
That you can just simply download, do it on there. My wife and I use them when we travel, so we have noise for our kids. So that way, you know, same sort of thing. We're in a hotel room, people are running around, keeps a nice, even, steady noise throughout the night.
Of course, turning the phone over.
Of course,
yeah. So that's going to be it for tips you can do to get to sleep a little bit better. Raney's going to be doing her Fitbit of the week next, and then Dr. Mike and I will be back with some sleep tips on what to do or how to be sleeping and what to do right before you go to sleep.
Hi, I'm Raney. Welcome to the Fitbit of the Week. This week we're talking about how important sleep is. So we're going to show you 5 stretches that you can do when you wake up before you ever get out of bed. So the stretches that we're doing today are more focused for the low back and the hips. So these will be good for anyone who has low back problems, or if you tend to wake up with a lot of stiffness and tension, whether it's from the day before or just the bad sleep position that you may have been in. So I have Dr. Nick here, and he's going to help me demonstrate these stretches today. So I'm going to have him go down here on the mat. So we're just going to simulate this as if you were laying in bed still. The first stretch he's going to do is just bringing his knees towards his chest. He's going to gently pull them towards him. This is flattening out the back, and he's feeling that stretch there in the low back, just like that. And then another way to do this one would be to just take one knee at a time. So he's leaving one leg down and he's pulling the opposite leg gently again. He's going to feel it more on one side than the other this time. And then you would switch and do it on the other side just like that. All right, so the next stretch that we're going to do is hip crossovers. So he's going to keep his feet and knees together this time, still bent. He's just going to kind of gently take them off to one side. He's going to feel a stretch more down the side and in his low back on the opposite side. And you're just going to kind of alternate back and forth. You can hold it there longer if you really like the pull that you're feeling, and then stretch the other direction. Let's see, the last one we're going to do while he's on his back is figure 4 stretch. So he's crossing one leg over the other, and then he's lifting this foot up so that it's pulling this bent leg towards him. He's going to feel this stretch more down here in his hips, and he's going to hold it there for a while, and then he's going to switch, just like that. This does require a little more abdominal strength to completely lift everything up together. So if it's hard, keep this leg down, and then just manually yourself pull that leg towards you. You're still going to feel that stretch. Just be sure to pull both at the knees and at the foot, because that's where the knee was pushing on the other one. All right, so now I'm going to have him flip over to his stomach. We're going to do a cobra pose. So he's going to be down on his forearms, and he's just going to kind of raise his chest up. He's going to get some extension here in the low back. He's going to feel a stretch there. He's also going to maybe feel a little stretch of it in his abdominals as well, just like so. All right, so the last one is cat camel. So you're going to go up on your hands and knees. So his hands are directly below his shoulders. He's going to kind of arch his back up as if he was a cat. So he's pushing his hips, kind of bringing his hips in, bringing his shoulders or his head down, feeling a stretch through there. Then he's going to kind of do the opposite. He's dipping his back down. He's kind of pushing his hips back, bringing his head up, and he gets a little more extension there, feeling the stretch in a different way. And you can kind of alternate between the two like that. All right, so a good way to incorporate these stretches first thing in the morning would just be to, if you're a snooze button pusher, take that 5 minutes, press snooze, take that extra 5 minutes, do 1 minute each for the stretch. When the alarm goes off again, then you're ready for the day. So that's been this week's Fitbit, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome back to the Wellness Lab. Back here with Dr. Mike, and we're going to be talking about proper ways to sleep. So Dr. Mike, if you want to, I'll be your dummy today, so if you want to walk me through.
All right. So we get questions every day in the office about how do I sleep? Am I in the right bed? Am I using the right pillows? And so we're going to hopefully go through and talk about a lot of that stuff today. So you go ahead and lay on your stomach for me real quick. Very common sleeping position for a lot of people is laying face down on the stomach. The reason why this is so bad for you is you can see kind of in his position the awkwardness of the way he's laying. Real big arch in his lower back because most of the weight of the pelvis is kind of dragging his body into the bed. Head turned to one side, makes muscles too tight on one side, too loose on the other side, creates basically a really bad imbalance in terms of that neck musculature. Last piece, arms up in this real awkward position. There's a lot of arteries, nerves, and vessels that run from our neck and our heart to our arms and hands. A lot of people that sleep in this position wake up complaining of, hands being tingly or numb first thing in the morning. So this is a position that you really never want to sleep in. Go ahead and lay on your right shoulder for me.
Okay.
Next position we're going to talk about is laying on your side. And so laying on your side is actually a really good way to sleep when you're doing it properly. And so you can see as he's laying here, his leg as is tossed over here, creates some rotation through his lower back. In terms of the upper body, shoulders are really closed forward, so put him into a really awkward kind of front laying position. What we can do to make this a whole lot better is we can add a body pillow in. So what we do, give Dr. Nick the body pillow, goes between the arms, other half goes in between his knees, and so you can see what it does now. It keeps him in a good neutral position, not rotated through his lower back. Upper body is nice and opened up to where he's not squeezing off through the shoulders. In terms of head position, when it comes to the sideline, a lot of questions we get asked is, am I using the right pillow? Is it too big? Is it too small? Easiest way you can do it is have a family member, friend, somebody at your house come watch you basically lay down in your bed. Have them get down to a position to where I'm looking straight at him, and if I put a dot in his forehead and a dot in the center of his chest, they should basically be lined up. What that does ensures that your head is in a good neutral position and you're not overly stretched on one side or the other. If the pillow's too big, his head's going to be coming off the table. Pillow's too small, his head's going to be going the opposite direction. Once again, creating that imbalance into his neck. All right, lay your back for me. Last one that we're going to talk about is sleeping on the back. Sleeping on the back, once again, is another very good position to sleep in when done properly. As he's laying here with his legs out flat, I don't know if you can see this, but I can basically put my entire hand underneath his lower back. What that means, he's got a really big arch in his lower back. That over time can cause some stress, or if you already have a lower back issue, this can make it a whole lot worse. What we can do to fix that, so have him bring his legs up, place a pillow directly under his knees, lays him back down. Now once again, I can't get my hand anywhere near the amount into it as I could last time, just simply because nice flattened curve out in his lower back. In terms of head position, we're basically looking for the same thing, looking for a good, natural, neutral position. Head basically lined up along his chest, not being pushed too far forward or not sleeping with any pillow, having his head kind of in an extended position all night long. All right, go ahead and come over.
So obviously, we talked a lot today about things you can be doing before you go to bed, things to avoid before you go to bed, also how to be in a proper sleep position. Remember, if you have any comments or questions, make sure that you're going on our Facebook page or our YouTube page and leaving those for us. So we appreciate any feedback. And then also go to wellnesslab.tv and we'll have PDFs that will give you the information that we talked about today in the episode. And we will see you next week. To submit a question, watch a past episode, or to find out more about the Springfield Wellness Center, check us out on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or find us on Instagram. Or check out our show website at wellnesslab.tv.